So Sheffield United this summer have gone for a major rebuild with Chris Wilder, and things are going better than a lot of the fans hoped and a lot of the fans expected. Obviously, as a newly relegated club from the Premier League, you're always expecting to be getting in that top six or definitely pushing the top half, and they're definitely performing to that standard. Just before I start the video, I'm just going to ask you to quickly subscribe to the channel and like the video. I do a lot of football content. I use tactics and stats to back up what I say, opposed to just clickbait stuff like other creators do. But yeah, Sheffield United. So Chris Wilder came back late in 2023 after Paul Heckingbottom really struggled in the Premier League after the owner didn't pump much money into the club. It was a case of the two best players, Sander Berge and Iliman Ndiaye, left, and then players like Benny Traore signed and Willis Sula had to step up. You look at that first day of the season, the 23-24 Premier League season, Ben Osborne, Oliver Norwood and Chris Basham were in midfield three. That is not even, it's barely even a championship quality midfield, especially at the time because Ollie Norwood was aging, Chris Basham was aging, and Ben Osborne he's gone to Derby County, newly promoted championship team this season. So, it says a lot. And, flash forward to the end of that season, and things were slowly on the up. Chris Wilder was saying a big rebuild's going to happen, and that's what's happened. 11 players have signed this season. Over 11, I want to say it's like 16 have left, and not many of them have upgraded teams, to put it short, just because they clearly weren't good enough in the Premier League last season, and not many teams are thinking that they are good enough. And yeah, this season's been really good for Sheffield United. They've changed from the 5-3-2 that Chris Wilder enjoyed a lot in his time, in his first spell, in his second spell, and gone to a 4-2-3-1. At the base of that, Ollie Arblaster and Vinicius, sorry, Vinicius, I don't know where that's come from, have been incredible for the side. Just this weekend, I went to go see it, Sheffield United, and they played, who was it that played? Watford, Tom Cleverley's Watford, and Vinny Souza and Arblaster were dominating that midfield. Hamer was on the left wing, roaming as he always does, O'Hare in behind Kiefer Moore, and that link-up play was really good in attack. And then in defence, two big bastards, Ahmed Hodzic and Harry Souttar, absolutely dominating it. A couple of times, Bio up front for Watford got in behind it, and it looked a bit shaky, but Michael Cooper, a goalkeeper that was signed from Plymouth, has come in and is doing really well. Now, Sheffield United are on the brink of getting a new owner. It's an American consortium. I think we're seeing this happen a lot in English football, some good, some bad, and I'm hoping it's good for Sheffield United as a fan, but this video is unbiased. Just want to point that out, it's unbiased, and I will point out a couple of the flaws of Sheffield United in the way that there's zero squad depth. Attacking wise, although we look quite strong in certain spells, we don't feel very clinical, which I think it'll come. It's a completely new system with a complete new group of players. If you look at that lineup from this weekend just gone, there must have been, off the top of my head, 6 new players starting, maybe 7. And of the rest of them only signed a season ago with Ahmed Hodzic. So big rebuild has happened at the club. And yeah, as I was saying, a new owner's coming in to the club, and it's a shame it's not a bit earlier because it's been a cash-strapped summer window where Chris Wilder's had to be clever, and as I said, there's not much squad depth because he's only just assembled a starting starting 11. I don't even know what I'm saying, and yeah, it's looking good. I don't know how much money the owner's going to invest into the club. But Prince Abdullah, he did a good job at Sheffield United, looking back, but unfortunately, for a Saudi prince, you'd thought he'd have had quite a lot of money, but he's not. He's pretty skint, and we've had to be cost-cutting. Sander Berge left last season for 12 million, Iliman Ndiaye left for about, I think it was about 12 to 15 million, it could have been 20 actually. And yeah, cost-cutting's been happening because in each of the past couple of seasons, 3 or 4 seasons now, any outgoings has resulted in less incomings in terms of financial outlay, which it's a shame. It's a shame because Sheffield United really were on the rise. When Chris Wilder first got them promoted, finishing 9th in the Premier League, and then the lockdown season came, we did invest in that season. Ramsdale came in for 20 million. Sander Berge had only come in 6 months before for around 20 million. There were, some signs that they only wanted to invest in the club. Brewster as well. But it just didn't happen, and then as soon as we came down from the Premier League in what was that, like 2020, cost cutting started to happen, players started to leave, we relied on loans and frees, and we got back to the Premier League, and at the moment we look like a yo-yo club from the outside looking in, but from a Sheffield United fan's perspective, it's very much that we're skint. We're relying on Chris Wilder and Alan Nill and all the good people behind the scenes, Stephen Bettis, to do a really good job of recruitment and keeping the club stable until this new owner comes in. And it's going to be interesting to see how we do this new owner. Sheffield United have a history of shaky ownership, should we say. Before Prince Abdullah, it was a man called Kevin McCabe, and Kevin McCabe? I think it's Kevin McCabe, definitely McCabe. And you know, he tried rinsing the club for its money and assets, and in the end, you know, the new owner, Prince Abdullah, took over, and luckily he steered us in the right direction, but it could have really ended poorly under the previous owner. And you know, he took us down to League One. And Sheffield United were definitely a top-end championship club historically. I'm not going to go as far to say Premier League club, because there are some really good teams. You know, our neighbours down the road, Leeds, they're more successful, and we're probably, you know, in the 20th to 30th greatest club in England. But you know, even so, shouldn't be in League One. But you know what, let me know down in the comments what you think of the new ownership at Sheffield United. It's not gone through yet, but there's a lot of rumours that it's happening, and they've got big faith in Chris Wilder to stay at the club. And if Sheffield United are going to go back to the Premier League, it could happen this season. Don't want to get too excited about it, because you know, it's -2 points deduction, 2 wins and 2 draws at the start of the season, couple of injuries. You know, let's say Gustavo Hamer and Callum O'Hare get injured, all of a sudden that front four looks pretty weak and pretty unimaginative, and you know, I'd just want to stop thinking of it. It's just going to be full of youngsters and, you know, unproven players in the Championship. So yeah, let me know what you think of Sheffield United so far this season. How do you think the new owner's going to do? Do you think Chris Wilder can get them to the playoffs, or, you know, even the top 2? It's a very open Championship this season. Get it all down in the comments. Thank you for watching this short little video. There'll be more coming later in the week.